Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about everything from the tush push being targeted to all the quarterback injuries. This on another episode of So let's kick it off today by talking about how the Philadelphia Eagles tush push is now being targeted by the NFL. What do I mean by that? Well, the NFL, during their meeting with the referees ahead of week 3, talked about how the tush push should be more heavily officiated in an attempt to make it, quote unquote, more fair. Now, why is this a thing? Well, because after Kansas City Chiefs-Eagles game, a lot of complaints arose online about the fact that Eagles were getting away with a lot of penalties on the play, which included false starts, neutral zone infractions, etc., etc. This also brought a lot of pushback from very dedicated Eagles fans about how the defense always lines up offsides during the play, and now the NFL has decided they need the refs to more heavily pay attention and enforce the rules on the play. Well, what does this mean? Well, this means a few things. One, the tush push will be gone after 2025. There is no way it survives this year, especially with the amount of scrutiny this play continues to get, and especially considering the amount of annoyed people with the play is only increasing each year. Now, what does this mean for the upcoming week? Well, the Eagles better line up properly, don't false start, be perfectly aligned, do not have any one too far forward, because the refs will be watching. The NFL has done this kind of thing before. The NFL likes to make examples of people, and the Eagles better be on their best behavior for the next few weeks, because the refs will be watching them. They will be waiting for the Eagles to mess up to make an example of them. And that's the hand they drew. The Eagles pushed the play to this point. Because realistically, they didn't need this play. They have Saquon Barkley and one of the best O-lines in football. You don't need a tush push. You just hand the ball to Saquon if you want a 4th and 1. But their continued usage of it has led them to this point. Now, if they used it maybe 4 times a game as a gimmick in very specific situations, I doubt it would have got this far. But they use it often. So what will happen? Well, we'll have to see. If the refs truly are looking for it, this upcoming game of Rams-Eagles will be very disastrous for Philadelphia, unless they are actually going to line up properly for once. Now moving on to the more interesting topic. It's panic time, people. We got quarterbacks down. We got Burrow gone, Fields gone, Daniels gone, and J.J. McCarthy gone for this week. The only difference between the 4 of them, Burrow's gone from pretty much the rest of the season, while the other 3 have a chance to come back, obviously considering Fields has a concussion, JJ just has a high ankle sprain, and Daniels got something going on with his knee. They can all come back. Burrow, with his turf toe, not so much. But 4 starting quarterbacks will be missing week 3. This better be it. I hope there's no more starting quarterbacks down, because this is starting to feel eerily similar to, I think it was 2023, when like half the starting quarterbacks at some point were hurt. Now, honestly, it's kind of interesting that the 4 have gone down so far, because now we get to see the quality of backups, make the games more interesting, make it more unpredictable, and I kind of like that. The Vikings backup is Carson Wentz. Oh my lord, he's still in the NFL. I honestly forgot he was a Viking. He could have an interesting game. I think anyone who has Justin Jefferson in fantasy will be applauding this. I think the Vikings might, in general, be applauding this, especially with how JJ's looked. He's looked terrible. Carson Wentz, honestly, could put up a pedestrian game and somehow still finish with a better game stat line than J.J. McCarthy at this point. The fact that the Vikings are 1-1 is insane to me, especially considering McCarthy put up 7 quarters of some of the worst football I've ever witnessed in my life. Now Justin Fields is out with a concussion, and Tyrod Taylor is stepping up for the Jets. This should be interesting. Why? Well, because Tyrod Taylor can be at times a decently good quarterback, but I also think he'll throw more than Fields, obviously, so this might be an interesting game for the Jets down against the Buccaneers. I don't think they'll win, but I think Taylor will put up an interesting game. Obviously, with just a concussion, Fields should be back sooner than later. Next up, we got Joe Burrow. Now, he's honestly the one that sucks the most for Bengals fans, because he's gone probably, if he does come back, it'll be so far late in the season that it doesn't even matter, most likely. The Bengals have decided to go with Jake Browning for the time being, and oh boy, this could go one of two ways. Either Jake Browning looks decently good enough that they win some games but lose others, or complete collapse. There's no way I think he leads the Bengals on a run, but he could at least win them a few games. Now, do I think the Bengals are in playoff contention anymore? Probably not. Browning, I don't see leading that team with that defense to a potential playoff run. It would be nice for Burrow, because then maybe if he came back, he could take over and be healthy for a playoff run, but somehow I don't see that happening. And finally, we got the surprise one of the week, Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels, during the Packers game, suffered a knee injury. He will not be playing this week against the Raiders. And Marcus Mariota's starting. Now, Mariota, decently effective quarterback. To be honest, you kind of don't know what you're going to get with him. He plays good sometimes, doesn't play good other times. It's a bit of a mixed bag. Now, I think he might actually be, of the 4 backups that are starting, the one that has the best chance of winning, because he's going up against the Raiders, who looked terrible last week against the Chargers. So I think Mariota could lead that very talented Commanders team to a win in week 3, but it's going to be a crazy week. Now, I should also note Jake Browning and the Bengals will be playing Carson Wentz and the Vikings, so one of them will get a win. And if honestly I had to pick, I'd pick Carson Wentz. But it's going to be wild, because you don't like to see this many starting quarterbacks be down this early into the season. But hopefully that's it, and the rest of them stay decently healthy. So with that being said, guys, please like, share, subscribe down below, comment what you think, and I'll see you next time.